In this video, we'll be breaking down what steroids are, why people use steroids, and why steroid users lie about using steroids. Let's go. Steroids are substances that you can inject into your body or take in pill form in order to enhance your body's muscle building capabilities and abilities to synthesize protein, right? So basically, you're going to be able to build muscle at a much faster rate and build more muscle than you can naturally achieve. The reason why people take steroids is just that, to be able to enhance their muscle building capabilities and to be able to synthesize protein much faster. And the main reason people will be taking this is perhaps maybe they're in bodybuilding competitions and they need to have a certain physique by a certain time, or these are people that need to have an aesthetic physique because brands reach out to them and ask them to help market their products, because these are people who perhaps they have an aesthetic physique and people want to replicate their results. So because people want to replicate their results, it'll be much easier for them to use their likeness to push a certain product or even products of their own. That's why people use steroids. The reason people lie about using steroids is because perhaps the substances that they're using are illegal. So they can't tell you, they can't be honest with you as to whether or not they're using steroids. And because of that, they're going to resort to lies, vague answers and stuff like that. So that's why people lie about them, right? Because perhaps this guy is doing his aesthetics and stuff and he's trying to push certain products, and so he can't be honest with you about his drug use. Or this person is in a bodybuilding competition where these drugs may perhaps be banned, or perhaps maybe the drug is illegal in the country and so they can't tell you whether or not they're using this drug. So that's why people lie about steroid use. Another reason people tend to lie about steroid use is because look at celebrities like The Rock, look at celebrities like John Cena, look at professional wrestlers. These are people that kids are watching them, young kids are watching them. And me personally, I got into fitness because I was looking at wrestlers and saying, hey yo, if a body can look like that, then I want to look like that. So I saw The Rock and I'm like, I want to look like this. So people get into fitness because of these celebrities, people like The Rock, people like John Cena, who if you're not blind, you'll be able to see that they're on steroids. If you're not a complete moron, it is pretty obvious to you that they're on drugs. And because it's pretty obvious, right, they don't need to tell you that they're on drugs. But these are people who can't admit it publicly that they take drugs or have taken drugs, so they have to lie because there's kids watching them. Kids get into fitness because of these people. So imagine telling a 9-year-old, hey bro, this guy is on steroids, you can't achieve his physique. You're gonna demoralize that kid. You know, once you're over 18, you'll be more than rational enough to be able to say, hey yo, I can't achieve this naturally, but I can achieve a result naturally. A good result, a result that people will want to replicate naturally. So that's why these guys are less than honest with you, and rightfully so. Because yo, in my personal opinion, if I'm using steroids or I'm not using steroids, I don't need to answer you. You don't need that fucking information. Why do you need that information? Why do you need verbal confirmation from me that I'm using drugs or I'm not using drugs? By the time you ask me that question, nigga, your answer is already predetermined, bro. You already know the answer to that. So why the fuck are you asking me, man? Like, this is the functional equivalent of asking a married man with 7 children if he smashes his wife. Like, bro, why do you want that information? Why do you want verbal confirmation of that information of whether or not a man with 7 kids has been smashing his wife? Like, bro, it's pretty obvious to you that he has been smashing his wife. The proof is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, fucking 7, bro. Like, bro, why would you want verbal confirmation of that information? You get what I'm saying? So that's how I feel when you ask me if I'm on juice or I'm not on juice. Like, why do you want verbal confirmation of that information if the conclusion is already in your fucking head, bro? It's the dumbest question you can ask someone, because if you look at someone and you can't tell they're on juice or you can't tell they're not on juice, you're a moron at fucking best, bro. And that's why, like, I don't think I owe you that information. I don't think anybody owes anybody that information of whether or not they're on juice. I don't think The Rock needs to come out publicly and say, hey man, I'm taking steroids. Or John Cena needs to come out publicly and be like, hey yo, I've been taking steroids since I was 18. Like, bro, he doesn't need to tell you that, bro. If you can look at his body and figure out for yourself that he has been taking steroids, then why do you need that information? Why do you need him? What does it do for you for John Cena to come out publicly and tell you he's been taking drugs? What does that do for you, bro? Like, bro, in the famous words of Rich Piana, if I have 22-inch arms, what the fuck does it matter how I got them? The point is I have them and you don't. Right? Like, that's the thing. My opinion on that is very controversial, but that's my opinion on that nonetheless. You don't need to know whether or not I'm taking steroids or I'm not taking steroids, and I don't need to confirm that to you, bro. Right? I don't owe you that information. No one owes you that information. Liver King didn't owe anyone that information, right? Right? Y'all knew Liver King was capping way before he admitted he was capping, bro. Right? You could see him and be like, yo, this guy's on drugs, man, and fine. You know, if he wants to lie to us, that's it. We know he's lying, right? So if you know he's lying, what's the point? What's the point of outing him, man? What's the point of saying you need verbal confirmation from him? So that's my opinion on that, man. That's what steroids are. That's why people use them, and that's why people lie about using them. And my thoughts on people who lie about using them. If you want to admit it, fantastic. You know, tell us you take steroids, what steroids do what, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't want to admit it, if you want to keep on doing your thing, I have no problem with you, and I absolutely have no problem with any method that works, right? You do your thing, right? And we'll support you, man. That's it for this week's video, man. I'll see you next time.
I'm stuck in the risky time when you figure I live in my mix. That road that I pave, only me I could take. Cuff up with you cause you niggas too lame. Thought it was real, now they look at me stretch. Go more, cause I ain't trying to maintain. Said it before and I know